right? So now we have to talk to you, I have to talk to you about what exactly we're going to be doing. And to understand that, I want you to know that there are three kinds of Arabic: spoken, standard, and classical. The hardest part of classical Arabic study are two things called nahu and sarf. That's the hardest part. Everything else after that, piece of cake. The hardest part of learning Arabic is what two things? Nahu and sarf. Okay, now you already know how to read the Quran, but you want to take your first steps, you got to learn these two weird words, nahu and sarf. Let me tell you what nahu and sarf mean basically. I'm going to write an English sentence down for you. I was teaching Arabic, my class was late, they avoided eye contact with me. Where are the words for myself? I, my, me. The three pronouns for myself are I, my, and me. That's it. If you had a picture next to the word I, it would be my picture. If you had a picture next to my, it would be my picture. If you had a picture next to me, it would also be my picture. So maybe I should say, Maya was teaching Arabic. I class was late. They avoided eye contact with my. What would be the problem with it? However, what would be the problem with this? If I move them around, you know what the problem would be? You're using incorrect nahu. Nahu is basically grammar, okay? So if I say, I teached it so goodly. Okay, I teached it so goodly. That would be bad what? That's bad nahu. You with me? The hardest thing about classical Arabic is what? Getting the nahu right, grammar right. Okay, done. But I gave you two words that are hard. What are the two words? Nahu and what? Sarf. I'm going to give you not Arabic sarf example, I'll give you an English sarf example. Somebody says, what do you do for a living? And I say, I am a teachaminator. Or somebody says to a scholar, what do you do? And he says, I am an academician. You know what that is? That's not bad nahu. Well, you know what that is? That's bad what? That's bad sarf. The word should have been academic, but you're making it into academician and teachaminator. You with me? Sarf means there's a system by which you create new words. And you have to learn that system to know when are you going to use teacher and when are you going to use academic. You with me? That's a problem of not nahu, but a problem of sarf. So nahu is more about the sentence, isn't it? Nahu is more about the sentence, and sarf is more about the word. Right? Using the right word would be sarf. Using the right kind of word in the right kind of sentence, that would be what? That would be nahu. Okay, nahu. Nahu is how do you use the right word in the right place, in the right sentence. So it's more focused on the sentence. Okay. There are three kinds of words in Arabic. What are they? What did I write down? Ism, fi'il, harf. Harf is the easiest one. Harf is a word. The definition is a word that makes no sense unless another word comes after it. So, if you get in a taxi and you say, the taxi driver says, where to, governor? And you say, to. To what? And you say, to. To. This is the number? No, to. To by itself makes no sense. So to would be a what? Harf. It's kind of like prepositions in English. Does a make sense by itself? The makes sense by itself? In, at, with? Those words on their own, they don't make any sense. And similar to that, it's not only prepositions in Arabic, so I'm not going to use the word preposition. I'm going to stick with the definition. Harf is what? What did I say? A word that makes no sense unless another word comes after it. Okay, that's harf. Fine. Two definitions left. Fi'il. Fi'il is any word that is either telling you that it happened in the past, or it's telling you that it's happening in the present, or it's telling you that it's going to happen in the future. A word that gives you time of some kind, either the past or the present. It's stuck in time. The past or the present or the future. What do we call that in English? Verbs. Very good. So fi'l is a word that's either in the past or the present or the future. There's going to be a confusion an hour from now, so I'll help you solve that confusion already. I'll preempt the strike. Okay, here's what it is. What do you think about ate? Is that a fi'l? Because it's stuck in the past. Good. Slept. Yes, because it's an act that happened in the past. Will work. Future. Drinking. It's happening in the present. What about yesterday? Yesterday is not a fi'l. Today is not a fi'l. Tomorrow is also not a fi'l. You know why? Because these are the names of days. They're not stuck in that time, they're naming a time. So they're still names, actually. The word for the day that came before today is what? The name of it is yesterday. The name of this day is today, and the name of the day that's coming next is tomorrow. So they're not actually words stuck in time. They are words for certain times. They are words for certain times. So don't be confused. Oh, but yesterday's in the past. Yes, it is. But it's not a fi'l. It's not a fi'l. Okay? There are two definitions of ism. I'll give you the easy definition, then I'll give you the hard definition. Here's the easy definition. If it's not a fi'l and it's not a harf, it's an ism. So when you heard yesterday, is that a harf? Because it makes sense. Is that a fi'l? No. What's left? Yesterday's an ism. Let's use that first definition some more. If I say apple, is that a harf? Because when someone says apple, I say, okay, makes sense. Yeah, apple. It's not stuck in the past, present, or future, right? So that's not it either. We say in English, I know who you're speaking to. But in Arabic, you cannot say, I know who you're speaking to. This is why your Arab friends, when they learn English, they don't like using to at the end of a sentence because they feel like it's an orphan. It needs something after it. They say, I know who are you speaking to him. You know when they do that at the end? What you are talking about it? When they do that, it's not because they speak bad English, it's because they're thinking in Arabic, and in Arabic, you can't just say about and just say nothing. It makes no sense. You have to put something after it, so say about it. Okay, so they add that pronoun. Now, tell me about the apple. Is it a harf? Is it a fi'l? Somebody says, no, but I ate it yesterday. That's in the past. My apple is in the past. No, that's not, your story doesn't matter. So apple must be a what? Good, must be an ism. Now let's look at the hard definition of ism. Ism could be a person, place, thing. We're going to keep going. Idea, adjective, adverb, and more. Oh, that's a long definition. Let's go through it. By the way, person, place, thing, idea, that's what they call a noun in English. Should I call ism a noun? No, because if I called ism a noun, it would only be those four things. But is ism those four things? No, ism is a person, a place, a thing, an idea. What else? An adjective, an adverb. So ism is a lot of stuff. Actually, ism is pretty hard. But let's make sure we understand. Here's the hard one. Idea. Islam is an idea. Very good. Education is an idea. Very good. Christianity, any name of a religion, it's an idea. It's a set of ideas, sure. It can also be sleeping, drinking. It's the idea of it. The thing where you get stuck with idea, let me give you something. Most ideas, many ideas, not all, but most ideas have some kind of a shun at the end. Like education and submission and fruition and tuition, yeah? I'll get to that. And they can have an ance at the end, like acceptance and tolerance, right? They'll have that, right? Sometimes they have, what else? If they start with a to, like to eat or to cry, those are ideas. To cry, because it's a combination of words, but that's an idea. And the tricky thing is, many ideas can also be with an ing. But the problem with the ing is we already used ing before somewhere else. Where did we use it? Fi'l. So now let's look at this. I am eating, right? And I love eating. Okay? I am eating and I love eating. Which one of these is a fi'l and which one of these is an ism? The first one is a, how do you know? Present. But I love eating, it's an idea. How will you know? If it's still confusing to you, I have a solution for you. If you see an ing word and you can replace it with ice cream, if you can replace it with what? Ice cream, then it's an idea. So if you say, I am ice cream, and you agree with that, see me after class. I know a couple of psychologists in the area. But if you say, I love ice cream, does that make sense? So the English language is a little weird. Sometimes the ing is a fi'l, and sometimes the ing is an ism. So if I say, they went, they hated hiking. What do you think? Huh? Ism? Sure. Sure. Why? Because you could put ice cream and they hated ice cream. What kind of evil people would do that? But they did. Some people do that. They hated ice cream. So yes, ing will be confusing. And sometimes you say, well, Ustad, it's an ing. It's a fi'l. And I say, no, this is one of those ice cream ings. So we'll call those the ice cream ings, okay? So sleeping could be, if I just gave you sleeping without any context, what's your answer? If I say, is this an ism or a fi'l or a harf? What would your answer be? Could be a fi'l, could also be a ism. Colors are adjectives, size is adjectives, numbers can be adjectives. Adjectives are just descriptions, aren't they? They're just descriptions. And we'll dig into them when we start learning the Arabic. Anyway, let's talk about adverbs. So, easy definition of adverb. All the lees except Bruce and love. Easy. And what else is there? Person, go through it. Person, place, thing, idea, adjective. More. Good. And more. You know what? I'll tell you more later. There's more to it. We can wait for it. Now we have three definitions. What are the three words I just defined? Ism, fi'l, harf. When I open up the Quran, I start with the Fatiha, I end with an-Nas. Every word I read in the entire Quran is either an ism or a fi'l or a harf, and that's it. There's nothing else. There's no fourth kind of word. If I say praise and thanks belongs to Allah, can you tell me what praise is? Because it's a what? Okay, ism is lots of things. Which ism is it? It's an idea. Very good. What's and? Why? Can't make sense without anything else. Thanks. Idea. Very good. Belongs. Fi'l. Why? It's in the present. Okay, to Allah. And we don't use the word person for Allah, but Allah is the being, the ultimate being. So Allah would be also what? An ism. There are three words in every sentence. You don't have to know this, no writing down. This is a mental exercise. There's three words. Allama. You see allama every time or no? Okay, allama means taught. Allama means what? Taught. What kind of word is allama? Fi'l. Very good. Why is it a fi'l? Because it's in the good. Allama is a fi'l. Everybody clear? Okay. Ad-dars means the lesson. Ad-dars means the lesson. What kind of word is the lesson? An ism, because it's an idea. Good. Everybody clear? If you have questions, throw them out. Allama is what kind of word? Fi'l. Ad-dars is what kind of word? Ism. Al-ustadh I use that word because you use that word for me all the time. Ustad means what? What does it mean? Teacher. What kind of word is that? So there's two isms. What are the two isms? Ustad and dars. And there's one fi'il which is allama. Now I've just kind of moved them around. علم الأستاذ الدرس، الأستاذ علم الدرس، علم الدرس الأستاذ، الدرس علم الأستاذ. Cool. Can somebody vote for me? What does the first one mean? Who taught who? Who taught what? The teacher taught the lesson. The teacher taught the lesson. Second one. The teacher taught the lesson. Okay, the third one. The lesson taught. No, the lesson taught the teacher. That's weird. What about the fourth one? The lesson taught the teacher. Huh. If I ask you, who did the punching in the first sentence? And if I ask you, who did the kicking in the second sentence? Whoever comes first must have done something. If I flipped them around and I said, Joe punched Bob, who would you blame? Joe. If I said Bob kicked Joe, who would you blame? Our English mind is programmed that whoever comes first in the sentence must have done something. You with me? The English mind says, who should have done something? The first one. Arabic is not like English. Let me give you a clue. So the words, the two isms are al-ustadh and ad-dars. If you hear oo at the end of any of them, if you hear what sound? Oo at the end of them, they must have done something. They did it. And if you hear an ah at the end of them, then they didn't do anything. Something was done to them. So if you hear an oo, they're a doer. But if you hear an ah, they're a done to, meaning something was done to them. I'm going to call them a done to. So there's a doer and a done to. علم الأستاذ الدرس. Who did the teaching? How do you know? Ooh must have done something. Ustad did it. Al-Ustadha, second sentence. Al-Ustadha علم الدرس. Who did the teaching? The lesson taught the teacher. The lesson taught the teacher. How would I know? Because, ooh. And then you say, ah. Then you say, no, ooh. Ooh. علم الدرس الأستاذ. The third one. علم الدرس الأستاذ. Who's doing the teaching? How do you know? Oh, الأستاذ. Good job. What about the last one? الدرس علم الأستاذ. The lesson taught the teacher. How would I know who's doing something? U sound, A sound. By the way, there are three sounds in Arabic. The U sound, the A sound, and the E sound. And the U sound, there's a diet version and there's a fat version. The diet version is U, the fat version is Un. And there's A, and what else? An. And there's a E, and there's a In. That's why your Qari Sahab who used to come teach you when you were a kid used to say Un, An, In, Bun, Ban, Bin, Tu, Ta, Ti, Tun, Tan, Tin, I have a Jun, Jan, Jin. Right? You heard those sounds over and over and over and over and over again because they actually have a purpose. They have a purpose. A word can be said in three. You could say al-ustadhu, you can say al-ustadha, and you can also say what? Al-ustadhi. You can say it in three ways. Okay? Innama yakhshallaha. This is an ayah of the Quran. Min ibadihi al-ulama'u. And I will also write down وَقَتَلَ دَاوُودُ جَالُوتَ. And I will also write down وَإِذِ ابْتَلَى Ibrahimu. Ibrahima, sorry. Ibrahima Rabbuhu bikalimatin. Okay, now I'm going to highlight some words for you. Okay, let's do this exercise together. إنما يخشى الله من عباده العلماء. The two words that I've highlighted are isms. They are what? Isms. One of them is the doer. I don't know the whole ayah. I don't know enough Arabic yet. But one of them is the doer, and the other one in the sentence is serving as a done to. Which one is the doer in the first line? Is it Allah, or is it the word Allah, or is it al-ulama? What's your proof? Ooh. Let me tell you what the ayah means. People of knowledge truly, people of knowledge among His servants truly fear Allah. People of knowledge among His servants truly fear Allah. Who does the fearing? The people of knowledge among Allah's servants. Who do they fear? Who's the fear done to? That's why the word Allah is Allah. Ha. Now, if somebody says, what's the reason for all these ooh, ah sounds? I can say Allahu. What difference does it make? Does it make a difference? Every haraka makes a difference now? Geez, that's a pretty kafiri thing to do on the flip side, isn't it? Okay, let's try this one. Well, there's two people that are mentioned, Dawood and Jalut. Qatala means killed. Qatala means killed. Wa qatala Dawudu Jaluta. My question is, who killed who? Dawood killed. If I say wa qatala Dawuda Jalutu, I just changed history. Well, ooh, ah. That's why your Hifz teacher used to slap you a good one on the back of your head when he said, وَقَتَلَ دَاوُودَ جَالُوتَ. You killed the wrong one. Okay, let's try the last one. وَإِذِ ابْتَلَى إِبْرَاهِيمَ. Everybody knows what Ibrahim means. I don't have to translate Ibrahim. And everybody here knows what Rabb means. If I need to translate Rabb for you, see me after class. I'll introduce you to Islam. Okay? Is Ibrahim the doer, or is Rabb the doer in the sentence? Rabb is how do you know? Rabbu. You with me? وَإِذِ ابْتَلَى إِبْرَاهِيمَ رَبُّهُ. When his master, his Rabb, tested Ibrahim. Who did the testing? Allah did the testing. So Rabbu. Who did he test? Who was the test done to? Ibrahima. You with me? Make a little bit of a mistake, and what's going to happen? Kufr, shirk. It's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. You with me? So in English, how do you tell who did something in English? Whoever comes first. In Arabic, the Arabic language doesn't depend on the order of the sentence to give you the meaning. The Arabic language manipulates what? The end of a word. The end of a word. U does many things, including being the doer. Does many things, including being the done to. So don't think it's the only thing it does. It's one of the many things it does. As we learn more, we'll learn the other things too. Every ism has 4 properties. Number 1 is status. Number 2 is number. Number 3 is gender. And number 4 is type. Okay, in order to understand the concept, today we are going to start the first subject, which is status. I want you to understand this example. Ustad taught us the Arabic of the Quran slowly yesterday. First of all, let's quickly get everything out of the way. You already know what the harf are. The harf are easy. What are the harf here? The, of. Okay, so we're good. Harf is done. Okay. I really want to make sure, though, you understand what the fi'l is. The fi'l is really important. Can you tell me where the fi'l is? Ustad is an ism, Arabic is an ism, Quran is an ism, slowly is an ism, yesterday is an ism. Everybody clear? All the rest is isms, right? Now, any ism in Arabic has a label, okay? A status label. It's called a status label. The status label is either, in simple language, either it is the doer, Either it's what? The doer, or it's some kind of a detail. So it's the doer of the fi'l, or some details about the fi'l. That's two. And sometimes it's whatever comes after OF, of. So there's three labels. The doer of the fi'l, the doer of the fi'l. So what's the fi'l here? Taught. So if you want to find the doer of the fi'l, you ask yourself, who did the teaching? Okay, that would be Ustad. The detail of the fi'l will be, who did he teach? Give me some details. Who did he teach? Okay, what did he teach? Arabic. How did he teach? When did he teach? All of those are details. Who did he teach? What did he teach? Where did he teach? When did he teach? How did he teach? If I say, yesterday, inside. I added another detail, didn't I? And each detail answers a different question. One detail is, who did he teach? One detail is, what did he teach? One detail is, how did he teach? One detail is, when did he teach? And one detail is, where did he teach? So who, what, when, where, how, right? And there can be even more, like why did he teach? It could be that too, okay? Now, what I want you to know is that whenever the question is formed, the word teaching has to be there. Because when I say doer, I mean doer of the fi'l. And when I say detail, I actually mean details about the fi'l. But let me ask you another question. So let me put these list of questions. Who taught? That's my doer, isn't it? What did he teach? Where did he teach? Give me more. When did he teach? Okay, what else? Where did, how did he teach? Okay. And we didn't do why in this sentence, but it can be there. Okay, so we've got who, what, where, when, how, right? But is the word teach always there? Taught, teach, 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 right? But if I said, for example, I'll change it a little bit. Ustad taught us the book of Allah slowly yesterday. If I say that, and then I ask another question. Whose book was it? Whose book was it? Is that a question about teaching? So don't just make any question and call it a detail. The only questions that can be called details are questions directly about the fi'l. They have to be about the fi'l. Whose book was it? That's not a question about the fi'l, is it? So that's not a detail, okay? Anytime somebody's a doer, we're going to call him what? Rafa'. That's a new word for you. Every time you find a detail of what? I keep saying it. Detail of what? Detail of the fi'l. Every time you find a detail, you're going to call it nasb. And every time you find any word after OF, Book of Allah, Messenger of Allah, the religion of Islam, okay, the community of Muslims, anything that comes after OF, we're going to call it jar. 3 words now. What are they? Rafa', nasb, jar. Rafa' is for doer. Nasb is for what? Details. And jar is for what? After of. Now go to your text and let's look at this. Where's the fi'l? In the first one, a teacher entered the classroom. Where's the fi'l? You got to find the fi'l first for this exercise. You have to find the fi'l first because the fi'l will base all your questions. So who did the fi'l? That's why there's an R on top of it. What's the R for? Now you see why the R is there. What is the classroom doing here? Is it answering a detailed question? Is it a question about the fi'l? Can you construct a question for me? What did he enter? Where did he enter? So that would be a what, according to my discussion? That would be a nasb, A detail would be a nasab. The doer will be rafa', the detail will be nasab. Okay. A student of his was sleeping soundly. Who was doing the sleeping? So the student must be rafa'. Of his. Of his. Whatever comes after of will be jar. His is jar. Okay. Was sleeping soundly. That's how was he sleeping? Soundly. So that would be nasab. Why didn't I label sleep was sleeping? Why didn't I label was sleeping? Because this whole exercise, we don't label the fi'il, we only label the ism. We're only labeling the ism. Don't label the fi'il. The questions are based on the fi'il, but the fi'il is not the one that gets labeled. You with me? Let's do another one. The teacher threw a pencil. It's a story from my life. I was the student sleeping soundly. The teacher threw a pencil. Who's the rafa' here? Explain to me why. The answer is there. I don't care about the answer. I care if you understand the answer. He's the doer of throwing. So he's rafa'. What did he throw? That's a detail about what did he throw. So that would be nasab. Okay. The teacher's student woke up suddenly. Ooh, that's a hard one. It says the teacher's is J. What's J for? But that's not what I taught you. I taught you to find a J, what has to be there? It's as if the textbook is saying there is an of that's there. How dare the book say that? Because you can say the student of the teacher. So in English, sometimes they get rid of the of and flip it around. And I expect you to know enough English that when you see two words together, can you flip them and put an of in between, and then you can find the J. But usually when the of is there, the J is at the end. But when you flip it, the J goes in the beginning. So let's do some examples of that. If I say his house, what's J? His house. How do you find a J? How do you find a J? How do you find a jar? After you're looking for an of, right? Oh, sorry, of. You're looking for an of. Do you see an of in his house? I think you could find it though. Is there another way of saying his house? House of his. So spiritually speaking, his is J. The of, you can think of it in your head. If I say Allah's messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, can you find what's J here? So we're talking about grammar, right? We're talking about grammar. So we're not actually talking about Allah, right? So it's respectful to say the word Allah is J. It's wrong to say Allah is jar. You understand? So respectfully, whenever Allah comes up, what do we say? The word Allah is jar. The word Allah is jar. This is a classical practice. Grammarians used to not say Allah is rafa', Allah is nasab, Allah is jar. They would say lafdul jalala, meaning the word Allah is jar. The word Allah is nasab. So that's what we're going to do too. We're going to use not Allah, but the word Allah. So the word Allah is jar here. Why? Because another way of saying Allah's messenger is messenger of Allah. Okay, now, the teacher's student woke up. Who did the act of waking up? Was it the teacher or the student who did the waking up? The student did the waking up. So the student is rafa'. You with me? And then suddenly, the detail has to be nasab. But can you turn it into a question so I'm clear that that is a detail? How did the student wake up? The word Allah is jar. Everybody clear? His is jar. Everybody clear? Okay, good. You're not clear. Let's go through his companions. Companions. If I say my car, another way of saying that is car of mine. His companions. Another way of saying is what? Companions of his. So in English, sometimes the of is obvious. Sometimes you have to figure it out. Okay? So English will not always use of. Sometimes it'll use that, this format. So we say the messenger of Allah. Now the of is obvious, but another way of saying it is Allah's messenger. So when you see Allah's messenger, you in your head have to convert it back into what? Messenger of Allah, then you'll find what's jar. Whatever's after of. Yes. If you hear u or un at the end of a word, it is rafa. If you hear a or an at the end of a word, it is nasab. If you don't write this down, watch e or in at the end of a word, it is jar. Listen carefully. Alhamdu. Fatiha. Alhamdu. My question to you is, did you hear rafa or nasab or jar? Good. You heard rafa. Lillahi. Did you hear rafa or nasab or jar? Jar. Rabbi. Al-alamin ar-rahmani. Ar-rahimi. Maliki. Yawmi. Ad-dini. Ihdina as-sirat. Ta. Nasab. Al-mustaqima. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غيري المغضوب ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل إليهم وبالآخرة. Okay, let's go to a surah you know. إنا أعطيناك الكوثر. نصب. فصل لربي وانحر. إن شانئ هو الأبتر. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد. This is going to be fun. لم يلد. Out of syllabus. Very good. It's not an ism. It's not don't worry about that. ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل ألم يجعل كيدهم في تضليل جر وأرسل عليهم طيرا نصب أبابيل ترميهم بحجارة من سجيل فجعلهم كعصف مأكول. We say Subhanallah. You've heard that before? Subhana. Nasab. Allahi. Astaghfirullah. Allahu Akbaru. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallahu. Wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abdu wa rasuluhu. Hayya ala salati. Hayya ala al-falahi. قد قامت الصلاة. When you say salam, assalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi, assalamu alaykum wa rahmatu Allahi. If you hear u or un, that's what? Rafa. If you hear a or an, it's nasab. And if you hear E or what? E or what? In, it's jar. So far, right? Now listen carefully. If you hear ani, if you hear what? Ani, it's not just un and in, it's a whole package called ani. It's called ani. Ani means two rafa. U or un. Tell me what u or un means. What does a or an mean? What does e or in mean? If I tell you a word that has an ani at the end, ani, specifically ani, what do I mean by that? Whatever it is, there's two of them. Whatever it is, there's two of them, and they are what status? Rafa, because these are status. Rafa status, nasab status, jar status. If you hear ani, it's two of them, and they are rafa status. Okay. If you hear aini, if you hear what? Aini, then it could be two nasab, and it could also be two jar. Okay. If you hear ani, it's how many? Two rafa. If you hear aini, it could be two nasab and two jar. But if you just hear u or un, a or an, e or in, that's just your regular rafa, one nasab, one jar. But the ani or aini is two rafa, two nasab, two jar. Listen to Surah Al-Rahman. Allah says, وَمِن دُونِهِمَا جَنَّتَانِ جَنَّتَانِ. Did you hear an ani? Ani? What does that tell you? Rabbul Mashriqaini. Rabbul Mashriqaini. Did you hear an aini? If you hear aini, what you going to say? Two nasab or two jar? Okay, let me give you an exercise. Masjid. Masjid, rafa version. I want masjid, rafa version. One masjid. Masjidun. Masjidun. I want one masjid, nasab version. Masjidan. Good. I want one masjid, jar version. Masjidin. I want two masjids, but I want ketchup with that. I want two masjids, rafa version. Two masjids, rafa version. Masjidani. I want two masjids, jar version. Masjidaini. I want two masjids, nasab version. Cool. Muslim. I want two Muslims, jar version. Show of hands. Two Muslims, jar version. Yes, ma'am. Muslimaini. Muslimaini is correct. Kitab means book. Kitab means what? Book. I want two books, rafa version. Two books, rafa version. Yes, sir. Yes, two rafa. Kitabani. Excellent job. Kitabani. I just want one book. I don't want two books. I want one book in jar form. Kitabin. The first sentence is, a masjid announced the start of Ramadan. Which of these three is the Arab going to use? Masjidun. Masjidun. I saw a masjid. Who's the doer here? Who's the doer here? I'm the doer. So masjid is a detail of what I saw, and the details are what status? So I gotta make it nasab. What am I gonna say? Masjidan. When do you use rafa? You use rafa, u or un, when it's the doer. When do you use nasab? When it's the detail of the act. What about the third one? The imam of a masjid is well respected. What's the masjid doing here? It's after of, isn't it? So what am I going to use? Masjid. Let me change it. Okay, let's start over. Two masjids announced the start of Ramadan. How do I say two masjids, but also make them the doer? Meaning also make them rafa. Two are. Masjid. Excellent. Masjidani is correct Arabic. I saw two masjids. That's a detail. How do you say two masjids in nasab form? Masjidaini. And the imams of two masjids are still after of. How do I take two masjids and make them jar form? You guys are starting to learn Arabic grammar. Read the first one on the top right. Muslimun. Say that for me. What do you think that is? It's rafa. I want you to put the words 1R inside that box. 1R. Muslimun is 1R. 1 rafa. Page 6, everyone. Musliman. What do you think I should put in there? Right underneath it, Musliman. 1 what? 1 N. You notice how Musliman is written different from Muslimun? What's different about it? Yeah, whenever they write an, they write an extra alif, which they don't do anything with, but they like to write it. So Muslimun is 1 R. Musliman is what? 1 N. What's Muslimin? 1 J. I call these ending sounds. These are ending what? Sounds. But in the next column, you see Muslimani. Muslimani. Is that just an ending sound? Is that just a single sound? No, it's a combination of letters, isn't it? Alif and Noon and Ani, the whole thing, the package. I call those ending combinations. Ending what? Combinations. So I'm going to say this one is, what should I put in that box? Muslimani. 2 is not enough. 2R. 2R. And what am I going to put in? Muslimaini. 2N. 2N. And what am I going to put in the bottom one? 2J. They're the same. They're the same. The 2N and the 2J look the same. Now we get to the third column. What does it say? Muslimuna. We're going to call this 3R. We're going to call this what? 3R. What are we going to call Muslimina? What do you think? So far, there was 1R, 1N, 1J, 2R, 2N, 2J. What am I going to do with Muslimuna? 3R. What's Muslimina? 3N. And what's the last one? 3J. Which one are the same? The nasab and the jar are the same for 2. And the nasab and the jar are the same for more than 2. 3 means more than 2, any no more than 2. So in English, we have book and books, yeah? But in Arabic, you have book, bukani, and then bukuna. Okay? They have 3. They have 1, 2, and then plural. They don't just have singular and plural. They have singular, 2, pair, and then plural. You with me? Okay. So what this tells you is in Arabic, there are sometimes ending sounds, and there are sometimes ending what? Combinations. Combinations. Combinations are used for how many? Either 2 or for plural. Let's start over. Muslimun, musliman, muslimin. Muslimani, muslimaini, muslimaini. Try the whole thing. Muslimun, musliman, muslimin. Muslimani, muslimaini, muslimaini. Muslimuna, muslimina, muslimina. Easy way to remember this, folks. Easy way to remember this. 3, 3, and 3. Don't think of them as 9. Think of them as 3, 3, and 3. What's the first one? Muslimun, musliman, muslimin. What's the second set? Muslimani, muslimaini, muslimaini. What's the third set? Muslimuna, muslimina, muslimina. Why do we say 3 each time? The first one of each group is always rafa. The next one's always nasab, and the third one's always jar. Why do we have 3 groups? Because the first one is for 1. The second group is for 2, and the third group is for 3. That's the grid. Muslimun, musliman, muslimin. Muslimani, muslimaini, muslimaini. Muslimuna, muslimina, muslimina. Okay? So sometimes a word ends with an ending sound. Sometimes it ends with an ending combination. Now here's the key for today's training. You must look for combinations first. You must always look for combinations first. And if you don't find a combination, then you can trust the ending sound. You cannot trust the ending sounds. You must make sure that you're not looking at a what? A combination. So our first check is not sound. Our first check is always combination. And if you find a combination, then you know what to do. If you don't find a combination, then you can use ending sound. Look at this one, Muslimuna. I'm going to zoom in on this one. Imagine you didn't check for, what are you supposed to check for first, sound or combination? Okay, this combination is una. Una tells you it's from the plural column. So it's plural, more than two. And it's what status? Because it's the first one. Muslimuna, muslimina, muslimina. So that's the first one. This is plural rafa. But if you didn't check for the combination and you just heard this word and somebody said muslimu na and you said, oh, I hear a, what would you think? It's one nasab. Your answer would be completely wrong because you looked at what first? You looked at sound first. You always have to look at what first? Combination comes first, always, okay? That's why we memorize these, because we have to know them. We have to know them and recognize them in the Quran. So now I'm going to put you to the test a little bit. An-nasu, is that a sound or a combination? Good. Now you can tell what status it is. What is it? It's rafa. Very good. All the words here on this page are taken from the Quran. I have taken no words from outside the Quran. This is all Quran words, okay? An-nasu is from the Quran and this is now rafa. Everybody clear? You should know not just what is it, but is it sound or combination also? Nafsin. Sound and what status? Jar. This one is jar. Everybody clear? Muslimun, musliman, and this matches muslimin. Yes, sir. Okay, what you're not clear about sound versus combination. Let me explain. Let me put this in another way. Okay, so if you hear an, or in, or you hear u, a, or e, that's called sound. Okay? If you hear ani, or aini, or una, or ina, that will be called what? Combination. And so, and ani and aini, the first two, ani and aini are for twos, and una and ina are for plurals. And you know the difference. Ani is two rafa, and aini is two nasab jar. And then una and ina are plural. Una is plural rafa, and ina is plural nasab or jar. I'm saying when you look at a word, make sure check for this first. When you're done, make sure it's not there, then you can trust the sound. Okay? Good question. All right, wahidatin. Sound? Jar? Sure? Good job. The word Allah. No, the word Allah is not rafa. Muslimun is rafa. Musliman is, this is closer to man, isn't it? It's a sound. That'll be nasab. Okay, let me go up top again. Let me go over one column. Number 2 here. Al-kitaba. What do you say? Sound. What status should I give it? What should be the answer? Nasb. Very good. We don't say nasab. Nasab lives in Faisalabad. Arabic is nasb. So rafa is dafa. And nasab is not a word. Rafa. Rafa, nasb, jar. Okay? Al-kitab is what then? It's what status? I don't know. I don't hear you. Sound nasb. Good. Makithina. Surah Al-Kahf. Do you hear a combination? Once you hear a combination, it could be from the 2 column or from the 3 column. You got to figure that out yourself. Is it 3? So now in the 3 column, there is 3 of them. Muslimuna, muslimina, muslimina. I got to know which one. So what's my answer here? It could be 3 nasab or jar. The answer is 3 New Jersey. Very good. Okay. Iwajan. What do you think? Sound and nasab. Very good. Okay, from number 8 to number 14. Do them with each other. TAs go around. Number 8 to number 14. Figure them out yourselves. And then I'll discuss them with you. I'll give you 4 minutes. Okay, quickly. Al-banuna, sound or combination? Combination. Which one? Plural R. Very good. Al-khabitha. What's the answer? Al-khabitha, number 9. Yeah, 1 nasab. 1 nasab. Okay. What's the answer for al-Bahraini? 2, 2N or J? Aini is 2N or 2J. Very good. I'm looking at number 12 because it's closer for me. Number 12, Sabiran. 1 what? Because it's like Musliman, right? 1 nasab. Very good. As-Safinati. 1 jar. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, Huban. That's sound, yes? What status? 1 what? Nasab. Excellent. Bit-tayyibi. 1 jar. Take some notes.